Welcome back to the Tomahawk Talk podcast. As always, I'm your host, Jeb Mays. With me, as always, we have Ryan and Jose. We also have Ben joining us today. He'll probably start joining us for some Sunday pods coming up here in the season. The Tomahawk Talk pod is your All Things Braves podcast for the fans, by the fans. Boys, how are we doing today?
Doing pretty good.
Good, man. Ready to talk some Braves today.
I was doing a whole lot better until the Tanner Scott signing.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that. First thing, up on the notes, we'll touch on AJ Minter leaving. It sucks. I really don't see the Braves throwing him, one, that deal, or two, any deal. I didn't hear anything on either side this offseason. Jose, I want to get to you first. What were your kind of thoughts, takes on the Minter news?
I mean, obviously it really sucks to see your guy leave. I honestly wasn't expecting that to happen, especially to the Mets. I'm not sure if anyone was. So it fucking sucked. Like, it was awful. It was terrible. Like, what else can you even say about that? I feel like we could have matched what the Mets offered him to stay in Atlanta, or at least something close. So those are pretty much my overall thoughts on it.
I think it was good for him. I think, he wasn't going to get that here, but I hate seeing him go. He was one of those guys like Riley. I feel like that up until about 2020 in that playoff series, he kind of was getting called for. He wasn't doing too good, and then he kind of solidified himself in that playoff series in 2020, and then after that he kind of cemented himself in the back end of that pen, and was a fan favorite too. I mean, everybody loved Minter. He was kind of that guy that, I mean, goes out there with the cowboy hat and just whacked his dick just on the field, or not whacked his dick. I mean, laid his nuts out on the field is what I mean.
Here's the first fuck up of the pod. That a baby.
Like, AJ Minter was not out there like whacking off, but like he was like him and Matzik were out there dropping nuts on the field in the playoffs.
No, Mint wasn't that guy who got caught in the fucking Target parking lot.
Oh,
Don't remember
God.
that dude?
Reese McGuire.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, Reese McGuire. Oh, brother.
Getting back on the Minter, brother, I'm hurt that you went to the fucking Mets. I understand the money, but at least it's not the Dodgers at this point. But why the fuck couldn't we have given Minter $11 million? Round table real quick.
I don't know, man. The $11 million, like, in hindsight, it's awful because we lost out on Tanner Scott, and like, I would be completely fine with losing out Minter for $11 million if we had signed Tanner Scott. Now we don't have either one, and our best left-handed relief option is who? I mean, we don't really have some duet.
Dylan Lee.
Dylan Lee, Aaron Bummer is probably our best left-handed relief option at this point. And Dylan Lee is really good, but there was something about Minter's just attitude that, like Jeb said, he would just walk out, cock dragon, and shut it down. I mean, there's no better way to say it, I guess.
I think it sucks too, kind of touching on that point, because you lose Jimenez for the year.
Uh-huh.
You don't sign Scott.
Uh-huh.
So now all you're going into this season with the back end of your bullpen is Raisel Iglesias and Pierce Johnson. And, one of the things I even have kind of wrote down right here is like, what is Dylan Lee? What is Dylan Lee? Is he a back end guy? Is he a middle innings reliever? is he a Jesse Chavez guy? I mean, obviously, I think we're all in agreement that he's like a 1 to 2 inning guy. I mean, last year he pitched in 52 games. He had a 2.11 ERA, 59 and 2/3, 76 K to 17 walk. He had a 197 ERA plus, but I mean, last year was half of his career WAR in just last year. Like, I'm not hating on Dylan Lee. I love Dylan Lee. I think he was a great addition for this bullpen, and I think his role, kind of like with Grant Holmes, like, I don't see Grant Holmes thriving in the rotation. I think Dylan Lee being that 2, 3 inning guy, if you need him, is probably better suited than right now probably having him as the 7th inning guy.
In his defense, now in 22, he put up the same exact WAR. He had 1.3 WAR in 2022. He basically, I mean, overall had close to the same season, minus a couple strikeouts. Had a 193 ERA plus and let me see, 50.2 innings in 2022, and he had 1.3 WAR that year too. 23, different story. He was basically an average pitcher that was going to get sent out there, but he has capability of being a really good left-handed relief option for the Braves. But we got to see which one's going to show up. Is it going to be 22 and 24, or is it going to be 23?
Just to touch on that a little bit more, I also think it just depends what situations you put him into. Because most of the time, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like I've seen him 5th, 6th inning. Because you normally have Johnson, you have Iglesias, you have Minter, you had Bomber going into those later innings. So he was getting more to that lower leverage situation, and now you're expecting him to do that same thing into the higher leverage situations. We've always seen it that some guys can, some guys can't, and like you said, it's just going to depend whether he shows up or not, does the job.
So I feel like Dylan Lee, I feel like he's actually really solid. I'm pretty high on him. I feel like he could definitely handle the 7th inning, for sure middle innings, I would say. But I think the big thing with the bullpen right now is right now we've been losing some of our guys. It's become apparent that we need to add somebody, and by that I mean multiple people. And at the same time, chips have been falling off the table one by one, most likely picked up by the Dodgers. So at this point, if you're AA, what do you do? We have a couple more free agent pitchers that we could sign. We could look at trades, but I mean, at this point, we have to do something, brother. Like, it's not late, but we don't want it to get late.
They're stuck in purgatory because they have a decent farm, not great. They have some farm, but they're not wanting to trade the farm. But they're not wanting to go out and sign guys to fill the roles that need to be filled. So they're just kind of stuck in purgatory. I mean, them losing out on Scott, it's terrible. I think you should have added the extra year or the extra $2 million AAV or whatever, because now you're going into October, theoretically a division winner. You're facing the Dodgers, and you've got to face Shohei, Mookie, and Freddie. Do you want Dylan Lee out there in the 8th inning facing them, or do you want Tanner Scott? I take my chances with Tanner Scott, but
100% agree with you on that. I just honestly, man, the contract he got offered by the Dodgers, what was it, like a $20 million sign-on bonus? He's getting deferred money. Shocker.
He got a sign-on bonus?
Yeah, I think it was like 20 mil or something ridiculous like that. So there's nothing that we would have done to match that. Nothing.
The sign-on bonus don't affect you on the CBT. That's why.
Uh-huh.
But the thing is, though, I mean, with Tanner Scott going to the Dodgers today, like, we have already lost Minter by this point. So shouldn't you be willing to up your offer a little bit to get somebody like Scott who can be the shut down left-handed reliever? I mean, like I'm
You
not
would think
saying we
so.
have to panic. We're not in panic mode yet, but damn, like Tanner Scott's a shutdown reliever. He comes in, he gets outs, he strikes people out at an insane rate. He throws hard. Like that would just be the logical move. And I'm sorry, but yeah, he is worth the 18 million a year AAV that he's getting from the Dodgers. I mean, that's just what it is. He's worth it, and I'm really just shocked that AA did not up the offer, to give that to him.
Or shit, at least match it, because
Yeah, I mean,
Georgia, you're going to have
anything.
a lesser tax bracket, so you're making more money. So that's an upped offer if you really want to look at it realistically, and it's just as good of a team.
Yeah,
I I'm right there with you. I don't understand that. It's been frustrating as hell watching A just letting these guys just pander on by this year because it's just not the deal that he wants. Like it's the market's changed, man. It has changed in these last 2 years. You can't keep expecting to sign these guys like you have over the last 2-3 years to these contracts. It's just not happening no more.
I
and the
was
different.
just going to touch on that. I was just going to say this isn't 2010 where the starting pitching market is, Cole Hamels making $10 million a year. You're going to have to get a little bit uncomfortable. You're going to have to pay shutdown, which I'm all for it. I mean, I think if you're going to go out and get your money and you're a shutdown reliever like a Edwin Diaz, like a Josh Hader, like a Raisel Iglesias, like if you deserve the money, you deserve it. And I think Scott 100% should have gotten what he got and deserves what he got. I think the Braves should have gave it to him.
Hell, even if you wanted to, if you're like, well, I don't want to pay that kind of money that long, front load the fucking contract. Like that exists. You can front load the damn thing or create a sign on bonus. Like, hey, we'll give you a 35 million sign on bonus, a little bit less AAV.
Well, the thing
Yeah.
too is like I was thinking about this. Like, say you sign him for 5 years. His contract is going to come off the books around the same time as Acuna's.
Yeah.
And so obviously you'll have other contracts come off the books then too. Then you take that money you're paying Scott, take the money you were paying Acuna, the 17 or 15 or whatever, plus whoever else is a little bit kind of that they're slashed or like they slashed this year, and you just put it towards Acuna.
So I actually haven't seen anything on Twitter that's about this. Have you guys heard what the Braves' final offer for Tanner Scott was, or no?
Mm-mm.
I'd love to know what it was,
That's
like
just
just
not
to
usually.
compare what it was to the Dodgers. Because
I mean,
just like you were saying, Ryan, like I just don't want to become the Blue Jays. We were in the mixed merchants. Come on.
Dude, gotta hug a Blue Jays fan if you see one. Jesus Christ.
them folks are going through it, man.
Ah, fuck.
Whew.
And bro, AA used to be an executive for the Blue Jays too. So that's all that's going through my head, dude. I just do not want to become we were in the mixed merchants, man.
He was their GM, I think.
He was.
Yeah, he
He
was.
was.
He was there when Jose Batista and Edwin Encarnacion and all them boys were mashing
Yeah.
up there. But as far as I've seen so many reports on these guys that are still signing with the Dodgers, even though they got more AAV or more years somewhere else. And like, I get you want to win, but the Braves are not that far behind. And I don't know. For me personally, Los Angeles, California is probably the last place that I would want to live. I mean, just, but again, I'm not making multi-millions to play a game. I mean, but I think that Atlanta has just as much fun to do. I mean, there's nightclubs, there's fun to be had in Atlanta, just like there is in Los Angeles. So I don't know what the whole beautiful city thing is that they talk about Los Angeles or whatever, but I mean, Atlanta's not a bad baseball team, and they have just as much stuff to do.
No, Atlanta's really not a bad baseball city at all. I feel like it's more the team structure at this point. Like at this point, if you're Tanner Scott, you're seeing, hey, I'm getting this amount of money, and I can play with Shohei and with everyone else, Freddie, Mookie. I mean, we can go down the list at this point. The Dodgers have basically just built a super team at the expense of all the fucking money in the world. Like if you're a player, you're thinking my best chance to win a World Series is shit. This team just won it last year. They're adding more players, more money to the payroll. That's where I want to play. So I mean, I don't fault them whatsoever for signing all those players. I fault more MLB for allowing it to happen,
100%.
if I'm being honest. Um, that's just me.
We were talking about this earlier, but it's kind of like, I don't know if you listened to that one episode, but Jared was talking about, like, it's cheesy. It's easy. You know, it's easy to just, granted, I don't know how it feels to win a World Series and how to polar plunge into the champagne ice buckets. You know, that guarantee is probably top 2 feeling in the world. I mean, but you know, why wouldn't you want to be on the team that beats the evil empire, that beats the big bad Dodgers? You know, and Atlanta. I mean, Atlanta's a top 3 team, I guess. Yeah, at least top 5. I mean, they've been in top 5 in the payroll the past 5 years. They haven't really gone out and signed a free agent since Ozuna. They didn't even pony up the money for Freddie.
Or Dansby.
That's a whole different.
I
Right there.
know, but for my point, like, they haven't really gone out and made a splash in free agency. Everything is. I mean, granted, they've grown and developed all these players, but when you're rebuilding a team and you have a core of guys, you're theoretically wanting to build pieces around those cores by going out in free agency, by going out in trades. And AA has done that, and he's done a great job at that. But he hasn't done anything this year.
And I think a lot of depth is a great thing to have, just because we saw what happened last year when we had almost zero depth. We saw how the team limped into the playoffs. And limped is even a strong word at that point. And they just absolutely shit the bed against the Padres in the first round. I mean, we needed the depth, don't get me wrong, but we also have holes to fill, especially when we're losing players left and right, like Max Fried, Charlie Morton, AJ Minter, you know, those 3 in particular. But also we have holes that we already needed to fill in left field and shortstop. Granted, left field, you know, I would love to have Jurickson Profar or Anthony Santander, but that's the least of our worries right now. Our shortstop, I hate to be that guy, but he was the worst regular in baseball last year. I mean, that's hands down. As far as
Ryan,
pitching
put
goes,
your hands down.
Our pitching, I mean, we have depth for days as far as pitching goes. Like, Hurston Waldrop can step up and be a good bullpen guy. Drew Hackenberg could be a bullpen guy. I prefer him as the 5th starter. We have a couple of other guys who are in the minors who are coming up. I mean, hell, Bryce Elder, I know that's a curse word to a lot of Braves fans, but Bryce Elder, you know, Dylan Dodd, all these other guys, we could. Hey, I know. Trust me, Ryan. I know. But
send
at
Dylan
this
Dodd to the
point,
fucking moon, brother.
oh God. I mean, at this point, though, what options are left on the free agent market? Like, we keep begging AA to do something, and it's just not happening.
Actually, I'll pander a list to see who's a free agent. Jack Flaherty. God, I know you're huge on Jack Flaherty there, Jeb.
Yep, I'm getting ready to absolutely sell you on him too. He's on my list right now.
I would not mind Jack Flaherty.
He's a bulldog, man. I want him. You give him 3 years.
As long as it's a short deal.
Like 3 years max, high AAV. It doesn't even actually have to be high AAV. Just give him a bunch of incentives. Like if he hits 200 strikeouts, if he hits 200 innings or 150 innings. So I'm going to sell you on him. So Jack Flaherty last year between the Tigers and the Dodgers, and I wish I would have pulled up his ballpark splits. He went 13-7. He pitched 162 innings. He had a 10.78 K per nine. That was the 3rd best in MLB. He had a 2.11 walk per nine. That's the 15th best out of all qualified starters. He had 194 Ks, 15th. 6 more, he's in the top 10. He had a 108 ERA plus. He had a 5.11 K per walk ratio, which was 8th best. I'm cherry picking and I don't give a shit. His K percentage was 29.9. It was the 4th best in MLB. Hit a 107 whip. It was 9th best. His whip was actually better than Framber Valdez, Cole Reagans, Max Fried, and Pablo Lopez. And he was tied in whip with George Kirby and Dylan Cease.
Would you like to read those same numbers from Jack Flaherty from 2023, sir?
No.
Thank you.
No.
Because I can. I actually put them in my last blog post.
Thank you.
It was a 1-year prove it deal, and I think he proved it. I mean, I think
he
dealt with
proved
a
it,
bunch.
and then he wants to get his money, and then he's going to shit the bed again. No, thank you.
Hey, all I'm saying is in 2023, his walk percentage was 10.2, which is almost double what it was last year. His walks per nine was 4.12. His K percentage was also 22.8, and then it went up to 29.9. And also he had a back problem. So, I think he is a good pitcher, and obviously for a 5th option, whatever, but you better get him cheap. You better get him real cheap. And he ain't going to want to sign a cheap-ass deal either.
Hell no, he ain't, bro. You know who's got back problems that we can get cheap on a 1-year deal? Give me Max fucking Scherzer, baby, on the 1-year contract. Give me Max.
That man's arm is going to helicopter over the backstop if he throws more than 130 innings this year.
Hey, I'd rather have him on a 1-year deal than Jack Flaherty for $15-20 million for 3-4 years.
He had a low hard hit rate, low hard hit percentage, 98th in breaking run value, 90% in K percentage, according to Savant, 90% in whiff percentage, 83 in walk percentage, and he had a 3.4 FIP. So,
I think Flaherty would be fine if it's 2-3 years max, and only because we have Strider, Sale, Schwelly, and Lopez.
How much are you going to spend on him, though?
Max?
Oh, no, Jack.
15.
That'd be the max, yeah.
Throw incentives in it, though. Like, if he surpasses 150 innings, throw another $1.5 million.
I'd be more than happy with that.
200 strike. I mean, he was 6 away last year from 200 strikeouts. If he does that again, throw another $1.5 million or whatever. Like,
this is all I'm going to say on Jack Flaherty. There's a reason why the Dodgers didn't bring him back.
Yeah, I mean, because they wanted Roki.
Yeah, it's called. Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, the reason's name is Roki Sasaki and Blake Snell.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I'd rather have Blake Snell than Jack Flaherty.
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. That's the reason. If you can go get somebody who's twice as good, why not? Why would you bring back Jack Flaherty?
At the same point, how many fucking pitchers do they have already? They got like 25 stashed away. And they already know injuries happen. If they wanted him, they'd bring him back. I just don't think they want him.
Well, all of their pitchers' arms fall off.
100%.
I think he'll be an Angel, though. I see him going back. I see him staying in L.A. because he's from there. I think he'll be an Angel because I've heard nothing.
That would be such an Angels move.
I've heard nothing on the Jack Flaherty end. Nothing. That's why.
That's such a bad sign as a free agent.
If he's that's why I'm saying, like, give him 15, AAV for 3, so that's 45, and then throw a shit ton of incentives in there to, like, make it whatever, 25, 30, whatever you want. That way, if he gets hurt in year 3 or whatever, he's just coming off the books, and it's like it would be like adding Monty.
I got a question. Ben, what do you think of Kikuchi?
I mean, as far as, a left-handed starting pitching option, I think Kikuchi was really good last year. Let me actually
when he
pull
went to the Astros and he figured something out.
Yeah, I mean, but also you got to think about it. That's the Astros. They bring the best out of every pitcher. I mean, hell, they had to bring the best out of Garrett Cole whenever he went from the Pirates to the Astros. So, I mean, they got something cooking there. But I mean, Kikuchi pitched 175 innings last year. That was a career high. I mean, he went 9-10, 1.4 WAR. I mean, that's a really good fifth starter. That's exactly what you would want on a championship caliber team out of your 5 spot in the rotation.
What's his AAV? Because wasn't it like 3 for 70 or something?
Yeah, I mean, it was. I think it was something crazy. Hold on, let me.
I mean, it was definitely like an Angels contract.
Yeah,
The Angels got him, didn't they? God, they snuck that one out. Damn.
yeah.
I would have loved to have him as a fifth starter.
I can't remember what his contract was now. Oh yeah, 3 years, 63.68 million.
Yeah, it was up there.
So I mean, that's over 20
21.
million, and I guarantee you, Jack Flaherty is going to be looking at something along them lines.
If not more than that. Because he's going to say I had a better year than Kikuchi.
And he's younger. Yeah, he is younger. He's about 4 years younger.
I couldn't give
3 years.
myself to give that to Jack, man. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not saying high. I'm not saying back up the truck for Flaherty, but I'm saying like
But you
go and
got to.
get him at least.
You got to. He's like one of the last ones on the market. You got to back it up for him.
I mean,
I
but
feel like I'd be fine with it, just
Give me-
because if you solidify that rotation with Jack Flaherty as your number 5,
Thank you.
now you have the options of bringing in AJ Smith-Shawver in the bullpen. Now you have the option of basically telling everybody, hey, the bullpen is up for grabs. Go to
Yep.
spring training and show me what the fuck you got. And let's
Thank
see if we
you.
can get in there.
And
So
you
you
get
can
Grant
have
Holmes in the
AJ
pen.
in the bullpen. You can have possibly
Grant Holmes.
Grant Holmes can be in the bullpen. Bryce Elder could be a bullpen guy.
No.
1 or 2 innings instead of starting, that could open something for him.
See,
At this point, I'm grasping at straws.
Jab, that's
Let's
how
see.
you convince me of something right there. That right there.
here's my thoughts on this now, and you guys, I mean, y'all can call me crazy if you want to. I personally would put AJ Smith-Shawver and Hurston Waldrop both in the bullpen, and throw Drew Hackenberg as the 5th starter. That guy right there can fucking pitch.
Didn't he pound the
pitched.
zone?
Do what?
Doesn't he pound the zone?
Yes, yeah, he pounds the zone. Last year through high A, double A, and triple A, he went 7-5, a 3.07 ERA, 144 Ks, 129 innings pitched, and his biggest game actually came against the Blue Wahoos, where he went 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 16 strikeouts.
Is that the Marlins?
Do what?
Is that the Marlins?
Blue Wahoos. I don't remember who their affiliation is with, but he has a 4-seamer, a cutter, sinker, curveball, and changeup.
God, he's gonna play good on MLB show.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Especially if he comes up and dominates that first start. But no, that's my pick for the 5th starter, dude. That guy right there can fucking shove.
We've bounced ideas around of we like. I am a huge Smith-Shawver guy. I'm huge on him. I mean, I think he would grade out well in the bullpen. 2 inning spurts. I think Waldrop. The only reason Waldrop, I think he'll stay in AAA because he's got options left, and he's your first round draft pick from 2 years ago. I think they're gonna let him develop as a starter until he just can't. But I think he could be like that Smith-Shawver in the bullpen of 23? And just like, we need you in the pen because your fastball has life and you've got that split.
I am so down for some Shawver to be in the bullpen.
Yep.
98, 99 for an inning or 2 and let that shit eat with that
Yep.
slider. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, being a 2-pitch pitcher, you have to have 2 well above average pitches. And I think his fastball is elite, but his slider is above average. It's not elite. So I think he projects out better in the bullpen. And then as far as Hurston Waldrop, same thing. He has an elite split, but an above average fastball. So I think both of those guys in the bullpen bring in something different. Both righties, of course, but they could honestly just go to the bullpen and deal for 1-2 innings. And hell, throw them in the long relief role if you need them to do that. But they, to me, project better as relievers.
I'm glad me and Jose are on this Jack Flaherty grind, man. You for the right money, man. If you bring him in and make him the fifth guy, that rotation is pretty damn good.
It's gonna be Ian Anderson because he's out of options.
Oh yeah, that too. Well, they'll run a six man, and even if you have Ian as your six man,
I don't know, dude. I hope we get 2022, 2021 Ian Anderson back.
I hope we just get playoff Ian Anderson for a full season.
Yeah.
Playoff Ian Anderson for a full year would be insane.
For life right there.
And I would not mind at all having a six-man rotation, especially with Strider coming off of surgery.
Yeah.
Sale, of course, he has his injury past, but last year he was healthy. Definitely want to keep him that way. I mean, it just makes a lot of sense in my opinion. And that approach of starting prospects in the bullpen has worked for the Braves before. We saw it with Max Fried. We saw it with Strider. Now, I feel like that's a really good move for A.J. Smith-Shawver and Waldrop as well. So, just my opinion as well.
You know what I just thought of? So, like, you know how, like, the Dodgers brought in Shohei, so they're theoretically printing more money, you know? Have y'all ever seen the movie Major League?
Of course.
Or Major League 2?
Yeah. R.I.P. Bob Uecker.
Why don't they just do what like Roger Dorn did, and where he just absolutely lined the outfield walls with just every single sponsorship that you can absolutely think of?
What? Or hell, just put them on the helmets. They want to do that anyway, so put sponsorships on the batting helmets.
Bro, players would have a fucking fit if their outfield looked like that, bro.
I mean, you're bringing in money, if that's such an issue.
Bro,
We could start a GoFundMe page.
Money during the fucking All-Star game. That's why I don't understand why they're not spending now. You're gonna make a shit ton off the Derby and the fucking All-Star game, and then you got the fucking minor league, all the futures game. You got all that shit, and you don't want to fucking spend money. Get the
brother
fuck out of here, dude.
The battery prints money.
Yeah.
That is literally the most money-making thing I've ever seen. Hand over fist, they just make money appear out of thin air.
I feel like it's not a problem about having money at all. I feel like the Braves have money and then some. I think it's more a problem of AA trying to find the perfect deal, not being able to land it, and just losing out on players. If I were to guess, I would love to have AA appear on 680 The Fan again or any other podcast. Shout out AA if you want to hop on the Tomahawk Talk Pod. And just give us an update. Like, hey, a couple weeks ago, you hopped on 680 The Fan and you said, oh no, payroll is fine, payroll's going up, we're trying to sign guys. And now, nothing's happened. Can we please get an update on that?
He ain't gonna say shit.
That's worth a shot.
Nothing.
Well, he can't.
I get that. But my one question is like, yo, what's your process, man? Like, honestly, we're sitting here watching guys fly off the shelves that are elite players that I know we could sign, but is it because you're worried about injury risk? Is it worried that you don't think they're going to go all the way through the contract and you're going to make your bank back off of them? Like what's the holdup? There's a holdup. What's that holdup? Is it injury? Like, what is the holdup? That's what I would want to answer.
I think it's you know, if you don't like the girl, you want to take her on the date first before marrying her.
This isn't dating. This is not fucking dating.
I remember I was sitting in the car listening to that when he said it, and I was like, that is such an AA thing to say.
Listen, I have no doubt that he knows what he's doing. I mean, we won a World Series in 2021. Like, the guy knows what he's doing. And I don't even know if it's as much of an AA issue as this is I don't want to say baseball issue or Dodgers issue, really. But just the fact with them signing everybody to these deals, like, yes, everybody in theory could do this. That's also awful because not every city, like, who the fuck is gonna pick Pittsburgh over Los Angeles? Like, I mean, as far as just the city goes, do it.
I said the same thing today.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just the city. You're not gonna choose Cleveland over Los Angeles either. Like, there's just some cities, if they offered you the same amount of money, you know, so theoretically, Los Angeles already has a leg up on everybody else, you know, just because they already have Shohei, they already have Freddie, they already have Betts, they already have Muncy and Will Smith and Glass now, just a laundry list of all these different players. And I ain't gonna lie, if I was offered a $5 million contract in LA and a $7 million contract in Cleveland, I'd probably pick LA as well because I have the best chance of winning. I mean, that's obviously Cleveland's just like a, you know, throwaway, whatever, random city. But I don't know. It's more of a baseball issue. Like the deferred money set aside, their organizations just run well. I mean, they know how to get people to do what they want to do.
How much is that going to fuck them, like, later on, all this deferred money?
Not at all, because of how much money they're making off fucking Shohei, Yamamoto, and Sasaki now. They're making a shit ton off the Japanese market now.
And then you have is it Murakami coming next year? I mean...
Yeah, I think he's on their AAA team.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. He's in the farm system already.
Yeah,
He
the
just needs
NPB...
one more year of AAA experience, and then they'll call him up to the Dodgers.
The
Service
NPB
time manipulation.
Oh my god. It's crazy to think, man. I mean, the Braves have plenty of talent in the farm system that is consistently underrated by all the national media outlets, but it doesn't mean anything if we don't sign some proven major league talent to go with that. Like, I was having a conversation with somebody on Twitter today about they were talking about, you know, bringing Jack Flaherty and I want to say another name. I think Scherzer was one of them. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, you know, I would love for the kids to get a chance, because if they don't get a chance now, they're never going to get a chance. I mean, we don't have the depth. But at the same time, I'm with y'all. Like, we do need to bring a proven veteran in who has experience, because we can't rely on these rookies coming up and consistently producing. Like, I'm not going to say we got lucky with Michael Harris and Ronald Acuna and Austin Riley and Ozzie Albies, but how many teams do you know that have a full team of homegrown talent come up and immediately produce? Not many.
Orioles.
Okay, but the Orioles haven't won a playoff game since they, you know, started calling these kids up.
Keep your eye on the Reds too. Reds are going to be good.
I do like the Reds.
They haven't signed folks this year.
Well, the Reds traded Jonathan India and then brought in Gavin Lux. Which, I mean, Lux can play outfield a little bit, I guess, but you're trading for an infielder. That shit just didn't make sense to me. I don't know.
On the note of the Dodgers ruining fucking baseball, I am beyond tired of it. There's got to be a floor and there's got to be a cap. I think that's where we're at in baseball.
I agree with you.
There's got to be a floor and there's got to be a cap. There's no reason why fucking LA should be deferring fucking almost $1 billion from players into the future and it's not counting towards the luxury tax. That's bullshit. Like, yes, I understand that it is in the fucking CBA and that it's legal. I understand that. But do you think anybody's going to fucking defer money to go to Pittsburgh? People aren't even deferring money to come to Atlanta, and Atlanta's one of the best run organizations in the league. They're not even doing that shit for the Yankees. They're not doing that shit for the Mets. It's just the Dodgers. And it's because you have 4 or 5 MVPs there, 20 fucking All-Stars. Like, yeah, I'd defer some money to go play there for a World Series. Personally. It's just... like, you gotta step in and do something at this point. Like, it's gotten fucking out of hand.
Well, I will play devil's advocate here, and some would argue that Atlanta players have signed deals that have permanently deferred their money. Considering they say that Atlanta's got the team deals just on deck for like players like Ronald and Ozzy and all them. But yeah, we also don't know if AA has even offered to defer money to some of these players. I think he would be dumb not to at least have it on the table, but we don't know if he has or not. There has been no confirmation.
Jose, what do you think about Anthony Santander?
I like him. He might not own a glove though. That might be his only defect. So we already have one of those type of players in Marcelo Zuna, and I don't know how that would exactly work out in the left field. But his bat is so good that I might actually not care. So
he's actually a reverse Aussie.
So he can hit left-handed but not right-handed.
Yep.
Interesting.
So last year, left-handed pitchers, so this is him hitting right-handed. He had 36 hits, 12 bombs, 43 Ks, 16 walks, a slash of 225, 306, 488 with a 794 OPS, which that actually crazily sounds like a lot better numbers, a lot higher OPS than the Braves had last year. And versus right-handed pitching, him batting left-handed, he had 104 hits, 32 bombs, 86 Ks, 42 walks, slash 293 or 239, 309, 513 with an 822 OPS.
I will say Anthony Santander is obviously, as Jose said, not the greatest fielder, but his OAA last year was only -2, and his arm value was -1. Now, granted, obviously you don't want somebody who on the field like that who is that bad in the field, but Ozzy Albies' OAA last year was also -2, and his OAA the year before was -8. Now, I'm a firm believer that OAA is more of an outfield stat just because it takes into consider range and whatnot. But is he really going to be that bad considering his bat's going to have 35 to 40 homer pop and switch hitting? Like, yeah, he may not be the best against lefties, but I mean, come on. He's going to be a hell of a lot better than what we had out there last year, regardless.
So actually, now that you bring it up, I have to kind of go back on my previous point. I am all in on Anthony Santander, and here's why. Santander's range last season, he was in the 28th percentile, a -2 OAA. Kelnick was at a 19th percentile, -3 OAA.
Huh?
And he seemed okay, decent in the outfield. So I'll take it. I think
How
I'm
much
all
of
in.
that was filtered for center field, though? I wonder.
That's a good point. On Baseball Savant, they have him listed as a left fielder, though. So Santander is listed as a right fielder. Kelnick's arm is better, but in range, Santander has him edged out.
See, and as far as that goes, like Santander, I mean, like we said, he's not going to be the best fielder out there. We all know that. But he's going to hit 240, 250. He's going to hit 35 to 40 bombs. He's going to drive in 95 to 100. And what he brings with the bat is going to be exponentially better than what his glove hurts them. And hell, if he's a better defender than Kelnick, quote, air quotes, then why not? You know, why not sign him? He's just sitting there. Get him before the Dodgers do.
He's still only 30, too. So
Yeah.
we could realistically sign him for 4 or 5 years at least. I'm not sure how many years he's looking for in the contract, but if he's looking for a long-term contract, I wouldn't mind giving him 4 or 5.
How much do you think that costs, though?
I'd say a 5 year, probably in the range of 100, about 20 AAV, 20 million a year.
You got Ozuna leaving, but I think they want to keep Ozuna.
I mean, Ozuna's not getting any younger either. Granted, he had his best career year last year, but like, I don't know if Ozuna is going to have 3 or 4 more good years in his bat left. I think he's what, 34 now? 34? I think. Hold on.
DHs have typically aged pretty well over time.
Yeah, he's 34.
Yeah, so you have, I mean, obviously you have your guys like Big Poppy, who aged gracefully and all that good stuff. But I mean, Ozuna is just playing out of his freaking mind the past couple of years. So does he revert back to normal Ozuna that was before, 2 years ago, or is he going to keep this streak, hot streak going that he's had for the past couple of years? Yeah, that's a big question that AA is going to have to ask himself.
I think after 2 years, there's no longer a hot streak. I don't know. Granted, I don't think he's going to perform that all the way until he's fucking 40. But you're going to have a hard time convincing me of getting rid of that bat for Santander, because I think that bat plays higher than Santander's. Currently, that bat plays higher than Santander.
I feel like you don't have to get rid of Ozuna to play Santander. You can play him in left field for now, for sure.
That's true. I'm down for Santander. I just don't want Santander coming in and getting rid of Ozuna, personally.
Yeah.
That's crazy, because I was ready to send that motherfucker to the moon a couple years ago.
No,
I think everybody in Braves country was.
We cannot get rid of Ozuna at this point, man. But I feel like Santander for sure for at least a few years in the left field. And then if we're not able to retain Ozuna, because who knows at this point, then he could pivot to DH for sure. So I'm a big fan.
I think that's the only position player out there, like outfield wise. Like, I'm a big guy on bringing back Laureano. I think that just the fit's there. I think that the money wise, I don't think it'll handcuff you that much. The way his arm grades and right, until Acuna gets back. I mean, he's in like the 98th percentile. I was a big believer in Laureano with the bat, obviously not defensively.
You know who I wouldn't mind bringing back from last year, as long as the contract is good? Whit Merrifield.
Yep.
Yes.
Good bench piece, but he didn't do well in that role in Philly.
And
I love him for that versatility, because injuries are going to fucking happen. It's just, does he want to go to that role?
And he, we've already got our utility guys filled. Eli White and Luke Williams both signed contracts, and I don't think they have options left either. I'm with you, Ryan.
A lot of sent Luke Williams to the Sun for Whit Merrifield.
Yeah.
Sorry, Luke. I'm saying, personally.
Hold up, man. We can't send Luke Williams to the Sun before he hits his career milestone.
That third homer?
That third home run? Oh, Lord.
You know what we ought to do? We ought to go get Martin Prado's old ass out of retirement and just bring him back. I'm sure he'll roll out of bed and hit 270.
I love
Hell,
Prado.
he at least hit 230 with everybody else.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't. He was good with everybody else. What?
No, I said he would hit 230 like everybody else at least.
Oh.
He's got to be 45 now. Shit. I love Martin Prado in his prime, dude. I hated getting rid of him.
I did too. I think that move was so dumb. I mean, granted, I love Justin Upton though, but couple other guys, Jose Quintana. I think I've expressed that to both of y'all.
That'd been a good 5-starter right there.
It's cost effective too.
Yeah.
I mean, say what you want, but Quintana's stats are presumably, identical to Charlie Morton.
Yep.
And you're probably going to get him on a cheaper deal too. I think he made like 8 AAV last year. I think the contract he signed was 2 for 16 or something like that.
That's
And
crazy.
yeah, I laughed at it, and then I dug deep into the numbers, and it's identical to Charlie's. Quintana also has a 79% ground ball rate. With the infield we have, I mean that's one of the reasons why they brought Bummer in too, was his ability to get the ground ball. David Robertson, I know we touched on him.
I like that move too.
I like David Robertson. 68 games last year, 72 innings. He gave up 5 bombs. Minter pitched, not to shit on Minter, but Minter pitched in 39 games and gave up 6.
He was hurt.
Yeah. But that's just for reference. But, I mean, he was also with Texas, so he was, playing in Safeco, playing in the Rangers ballpark, so.
He also kept being used in the 9th inning.
Yeah.
Isn't he also like 100? He's old.
Yeah, he's 40. He's close to 40. I think he's
Yeah,
close to
but
38.
look at his savant.
It's good.
No, I mean I know. I've definitely looked it up before. He is very, very good, but
Now, he signed a 1-year contract to play.
Yeah.
he's got to go 1 year at this point. There's no multi-year
Maybe
option
an
for him.
option.
I think that's what he signed with Texas, but 86th percentile on pitching run value, 97th percentile on fastball run value, 73 in off-speed run value, 84 in xERA and x batting average,
I don't think he walks
70
people either.
79 in whiff percentage, 96 in K percentage, 85 in barrel percentage, and 75 in ground ball percentage. I think that'd be a pretty sneaky move. I don't know why he's still out there. And like when we talked to CJ, I mean, he's from Alabama. As long as he grew up a Braves fan, hometown.
Sorry, that was Alabama. But no, they generally make pretty good Braves players, all right? Because Tim Hudson was from Alabama, if I'm not mistaken.
Kimbrel was too.
Kimbrel was. I mean, wouldn't be bad. I don't know why.
Also out there too.
Yeah. Bring back Kimbrel.
Impact.
I would probably show up to Truist with pitchforks if we signed Craig Kimbrel.
I
Whoa,
get
whoa,
my
whoa,
invite
now.
to spring training. Here you go.
Yeah.
Whoa. Craig Kimbrel is the prototypical 1-year deal with your original club kind of guy.
Yeah.
Just to have him come out to the, into Truist Park one final time and
No.
It was on Twitter.
Come.
That motherfucker said he hated us.
Kimbrel?
Craig Kimbrel
Yeah,
did?
he said that. Yeah.
When?
It was back when he was playing with the Phillies. It was, I think, like after they put us out in the playoffs. He said he fucking hated us. Yeah.
What?
Fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him. I would press the boo button again, but
I
it's.
say, here's your invite to spring training, you piece of shit. Have good luck.
Andrew Chafin.
I love
And-
Chafin.
Andrew, my balls be chafing.
Big fella, huh? Big fella.
I'd sign him. 1-year contract.
I would too. But, I mean, we've already got, 2 left? Well, we already have
You need
Minter.
3, because you're going to go through 2 lefties in a game.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be bad.
Keenan Middleton.
He throws the shit out of the ball, doesn't he?
Yep.
Yeah. He's just got the fuck you fastball. How's his off speed?
So he was hurt last year. He had right forearm flexor tendon injury, whatever that means.
Ooh, so that's it's right there.
Was that TJ?
That's right by TJ, yeah. So that's the actual muscle that supports like here. So that supports your elbow. Yeah.
So in 23 though, I mean it's bloodshot. I mean you got 85 in off speed, you got 82 in XBA, you got 76 in fastball velo, you got 97 in average exit velocity, you got 89 in chase percentage, 96 in whiff percentage, 91 in K percentage, 92 in hard hit percentage, 93. I mean it's bloodshot.
Depends what the medical say.
Yep.
Brother, you want to talk about bloodshot? Bring me back Kirby Yates.
Brother. Man, he's healthy too.
I think I told y'all about that tweet where that Kirby blew a game, and I mean it was like his third appearance back after he had been hurt for like 4 years. Blew a game, and this dude goes, "Kirby Yates, more like Kirby, go fuck yourself." I was like, Jesus Christ, retweet. I was so, I mean, it was like, I'm pretty sure that was 23, either 22 or 23, where we won like 101 games, lost like 59 games, and like you can remember like I still remember the loss in Oakland on the Austin Riley bobble at third.
Fucking shit.
Like we're like 16 games ahead of the Phillies, and I'm like, what the fuck are we doing?
Man, gotta love
We hold
those
these guys to such
in-season
fucking
moments.
high standards. It's unbelievable that they even want to fucking talk to us.
Golly.
As long as we don't trade for Will Smith again.
God,
Please,
Jesus, I can't go through that again.
I think he
Please,
retired.
God.
He
I think
can't.
he
He
retired.
can't have a savant.
No, he's still pitching for the Royals, isn't he? Is he still with the Royals? Or did he
I think he's
retire?
done.
I think he retired, yeah.
I don't think he retired. I just don't think he's gonna get in the fucking contract.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't see anybody offering him a contract anyways.
He needs to go to
Did
the
he
Dodgers
retire,
sign
or
up
did he-
everybody.
Did he retire, or is he fucking retired?
Yeah, I
Because-
think,
He
I
was
think
retired. You know what I mean? He was forcibly retired.
gave him that Barry Bonds treatment.
2021, I'll love you, Will Smith, but get the fuck out of here after that, please.
I still can't believe, like, every game Will Smith pitched in the regular season, it was, like, on the seat, like, on the edge of your seat, and then during the postseason, he just, like,
Shut it up.
absolutely shut the fucking door on everybody.
It was always insane because I would be sitting there watching the game, and next thing I know, bases loaded, no outs, Will Smith on the mound, and I'm like, Snit, please, God, take him out, please. And then he just punch out 3 in a row, or punch out 1 and then get a ground ball double play. And
After
I'm
he
like,
walks the bases loaded or some bullshit.
yeah, and I'm like, dude, you can't keep getting away with this.
I
And he
remember-
did the entire
That's
year.
another reason why I figured we would sign Scott, is because AA is openly, like, invested in the bullpen, like, has clearly quoted, like, I do not ever want to go through another bullpen rebuild. Like, has openly said that. Figured we would throw him some money, especially with the Jimenez, and the mentor deals, but
But didn't he also say that bullpens are like the toughest thing to build in general, just because they're so volatile? Like, you'll have a reliever, hell, Craig Kimbrell. Craig Kimbrell was the most dominant reliever of the 2010s, and then 2020s rolled around, and dude has just ass like that. I mean, I'm sure he's a great guy. If he hates us, fuck him. But like, he, as soon as he turned 31, 32, like he just fell off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
well, I mean, he also he was pretty much a 2-pitch pitcher, fastball, knuckle curve.
Knuckle curve. That's it.
Okay, but it worked for 10 years. Why would it not continue to work? I mean,
The
like
the
Ryan said,
increase in starter velocity, I would imagine, because like especially for like the Braves, for instance, like 2012, like
Craig was on
Chris
fire.
Medlin, Tim Hudson, Mike Minor, like they're topping out at 93, and then you go to Kimbrell in the pen and he's throwing
Ventral,
100.
baby. God, what a time to be alive with that back end of the bullpen.
Yeah, and then now it's like you have Zach Wheeler, Tarek Skubal, Cole Reagans, Chris Sale out there
Spencer
dotting up
Strider.
99. And then
I'm not gonna lie, talking about the back end of the bullpen got me going a little bit because the Venter, O'Flaherty, and Kimbrell tweet that I had was my first banger tweet that I had.
I was too young for Venters and O'Flaherty. I was
Dude,
there.
What?
I was there when Venters got brought back, but I was too young for the Venters, O'Flaherty, Kimbrell. I
You
was.
missed out.
You missed out.
Fucking good shit right there, buddy.
If the
That
Braves
Johnny
had the
Venner
lead,
sinker was fucking magical. You couldn't
he was
beat
throwing
that shit.
he was throwing 98-mile-an-hour sinkers that were dropping a foot before anybody else was doing it, and nobody knew what to do with that pitch at all.
Chase Utley, I remember Chase Utley saying, we're looking back to McCann because Mac told the story, is that Chase Utley saw that shit. He goes, "What the fuck was that?" Mac literally said he was sitting there back there just laughing his fucking ass off, tossing the ball back.
And then you had Jack Flaherty coming in throwing like 92, 91 in between Venners, and then Kimbrel coming in throwing 100 with that wipeout slider. Like, oh man, if the Braves had the lead in the 6th inning, that was game over. It was done. Shut the door.
Crap.
Good night. Yeah, it was done.
If we had an offense worth of shit outside, I think of Chipper and Brian McCann and Martin Prado, we probably would have won at least one World Series in 2010.
Do not ever disrespect Michael Bourne and Paul Yanish like that ever again.
Brother, Michael Bourne had one good year for us and was kind of ass the next year.
Michael Bourne. I loved Mike Bourne, man. I loved him.
I liked him too, I'm not gonna lie. He was the first like real base stealing threat that I ever saw the Braves have in my lifetime.
Fun to watch at the top.
Yeah, it was fun.
I think like a lot of where I stem from too is like I'm a pretty like original like and I think even like with the Braves today, like with Ronnie, like your leadoff guy is your prototypical speed, contact, get on base, steal bases guy. Braves had that in Bourne. Right behind him in the number 2, you got a guy who's going to cover the zone and put the ball in play, hit behind the runner, Martin Prado. Behind him, you're going to have your little gap-to-gap power, speed, and also mixing up lefty-righty. You got Jason Hayward. Then you had old Crazy Train coming in, the veteran, the leader. That was his clubhouse. Old Chipper Jones coming in, leading into number 4. Then you had young babyface Freddie. Then you had old fucking Dan Ugla, son.
The most jacked second baseman
Dan
that played
Ugla.
the game.
Talk about somebody who fell off a fucking table for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, no need to throw shade at Chris Johnson like that either.
Motherfucker had one outlier here. Well,
That
he was actually
dude-
all right with Arizona, wasn't he?
I remember when he came over, it took him to like August to hit his first home run, and I was like, Jesus Christ, this dude sucks. Let alone didn't know the dude was hitting like well over 310.
Yeah. Everybody thought he was going to win the batting title that year, and Michael Kadire, of all people, won it in Colorado.
Though.
Yeah, he was with Colorado. But that dude, we're getting off track here, but Michael Kadire was not a Coors merchant. That dude could just hit anywhere you put him.
Yeah. That's the guy that would be great in MLB The Show now, huh?
Michael Kadire? Oh, I would love to play with him.
Absolutely.
What,
Hey,
Let me get y'all's thoughts, because it's got me bringing up a little vintage Braves. Like, so obviously Atlanta traded Andrelton to the Angels for Sean Newcomb. Could you imagine a world where, like, Atlanta had, like, I don't know, like, Andrelton at short, like, Dansby at second, like, Ozzie in left or some shit?
Well, at this point, Andrelton is like, what, 38,
Oh,
39?
he's retired.
Yeah, he's fucking
He's
retired.
He's still 33, 34.
Yeah, I mean, Andrelton, But Dansby, if we still had Dansby, like, I think that's what we're missing the most out of this club. Like, I love Matteo. I love Austin Riley. I love Ronnie. And I love Ozzie. But Ozzie is the leader at this point. And I feel like to be successful, you're going to need multiple leaders, because Ozzie has been a leader since he came up, but he also had Dansby. He also had Freddie. He also had,
Markakis.
Max Fried, Nick Markakis. Like, it takes multiple guys to take that role, in my opinion. And I think that's what the Braves are lacking right now. Like I said, they have Ozzie, but then who?
No, I kind of disagree with you on that, because I think it's not the leadership. I think it's the lack of fuck you.
Dansby didn't have an ounce of fuck you.
No,
neither
but-
did Freddie.
You had Jock.
Jock, God, I miss Jock.
Yeah. You had Jock. Even Eddie and Soler kind of had a little bit of it. Like, you need that dude who's just going to absolutely, walk up to the plate, dick swinging in hand, like,
That was Jock.
like,
That
yep.
was
But
Jock.
but
I wanted-
Fuck, baby.
isn't that Ronald Acuna?
When Ronnie gets cold, man, he gets in his
Yeah.
own head a little bit. Like,
I mean, he does, but also when he's hot, he has the most fuck you out of anybody we just named.
But John could come up 0 for 20 and punch out 16 times in a row, and he's still coming up there with his dick swinging out all over the plate and ready to fucking hit.
We need that fuck you guy that's going to show up and wear pearls in the playoffs just because.
Hey, I do think a guy who can fill those shoes is our beloved center fielder.
Oh yeah,
Michael Harris could absolutely fill those shoes. Chain swinging, bright colored shoes, bright colored arm guard, like coming up, kid from Atlanta, just loves going to the park and hitting the shit out some baseballs and catching the baseballs, no matter where they're hit. 3 runs deep, he's getting it. You know,
he has the personality for it, man.
He does.
Like, a few more years in the major leagues and just that experience under his belt, I feel like he'll be that guy for sure.
Yeah, I think this year
was going to be it.
Thought who?
And brother, if you give me Lawrence Butler with Michael Harris II,
yes,
it's game over.
Dude, I won't even lie.
Why did the A's have to try to fucking add pieces now? Why couldn't you just send him over here before you did that?
I wanted Jazz.
Still the A's.
I think Jazz is hella overrated, but that is a fuck you guy right there.
Jazz is overrated, but he would have fit in really well with Atlanta.
Yep. I thought we were in on him, but I mean,
we should have been in on him for fuck's sake, man. He would have fit in. He could have played left field fine.
Oh yeah.
It's so difficult to pull off interdivision trades. Like teams in your division are gonna want so much.
Yeah.
I mean,
or the Phillies just trading international pool money to.
Piece of shit.
That was ridiculous. I was like, you're basically fucking yourself.
Yeah, you got to play them in the postseason.
I was like, theoretically, you're going to run into them in the postseason.
Yeah, I have no idea why the Phillies did that. That was dumb as hell.
Oh, Lord. Well, we want to jump in and guess that Brave?
Don't you got it this time?
Yeah, it's me. It's my turn. And I'm going to stump y'all's asses.
Can't do it any worse than fucking Jose did the last time.
Oh my god, dude. We went brain dead. I think it's because we had CJ on, but we went absolutely fucking brain dead.
Who was it, Jose? I can't remember.
Anibal.
That's right.
The legendary Anibal Sanchez.
Alright, you ready?
Ready.
My first guess is Ryan Langerhans.
Nope.
That motherfucker went for like an 0 for 45. You remember that stretch?
Yes.
God bless you.
All right, I got an official guess. Evan Gaddis.
Nope.
All right, Ryan, you got to throw your guess out there.
I don't have one. I got to hear the fucking stick because he might switch it up midterm. He's gonna be the motherfucker who's got 3 listed down. And if you guess one, he's gonna switch the fucking.
No. I'll put my hand up. I've only got one. So I was a second baseman, a third baseman, and a shortstop, but I was mostly known for being a third baseman and even played occasional first base. I played 8 years, split between 3 teams, and I only played 1 year in Atlanta. 81 games, exactly.
Can you give us the year?
2018.
2018.
Oh, you mother.
Oh, gosh. Oh, man, that's tough.
8 years in the big leagues?
8 years in the show. 3 teams, 1 year with Atlanta, and the year
I can picture him, Ryan O'Flaherty.
Ryan Flaherty, yep.
Ryan Flaherty, yes!
Ryan Flaherty.
Yep.
Gosh, Baltimore Oriole legend.
I remember him getting on that ridiculous start in 2018. That's why he played 81 games.
See, I don't picture him with the Braves. I can't remember it. I mean, I remember him playing now, but like he's a Baltimore Oriole in my mind.
Yes.
He had I guess because when he got on that stretch, I remember still in 2021 there was Ryan Flaherty T-shirts for $9 on Fanatics, and I was like, I'm so close to doing it. Interesting fact, he's actually brother-in-law. His brother-in-law was a former Brave legend.
Like Mark Akis?
Yep. Nick Markakis.
I wonder, did he win a national championship at Vandy? Or was that before Vandy was good at baseball?
Who, Flaherty?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no fucking idea. You'd have to talk to, like,
Old as fuck.
Mikey or Will about that.
I do know he went to Vandy, but he... Gosh, I can't remember. Anyway, DGB, damn good Brave.
Yep. Well.
It stumped me this time, Jeb.
Well.
Jose still reigns supreme.
Yeah. Well. All right. Well, if y'all have anything, go ahead and shout it out. But I think we'll probably end right here.
Drew Hackenberg for 5th starter campaign starting about a week ago.
Ryan?
So.
Go ahead, Jose.
Or Jose?
Get Orlando out of Atlanta. I will personally help him pack and drive him to the airport.
You'd have the whole fucking podcast there for that one. I just don't see it happening. Orlando, I just want you to understand, you're probably a fantastic human being. But the way you played fucking baseball last year, I wanted to fucking piss out my eyeballs. You understand me? Don't ever fucking play like that again.
Look, Orlando is coming for a 15-homer year, and he's going to have a 103 OPS plus or WRC plus or whatever.
Listen,
I'm calling it right now.
250, 15, 55 RBIs, a 772 OPS, and give me a 98 WRC. I'm fine with it.
Yep.
I'm fine with it. And play a little above average defense. That's all I'm asking out of you. I'm not asking you to be the fucking superstar, buddy. Come on now.
You're going to be batting
I
8
would settle for like 730, 740 OPS.
That's what I was just thinking. I was like, give me like a 730 OPS and I'm all right. As long as you play decent defense, like you're not a net negative on defense. All right, cool.
Ideally until the trade deadline.
God, you get a whole podcast on Orlando Arcia. Let's just be honest
Brother,
here for a second.
I hope he has an 850 OPS by the trade deadline.
You know what, Orlando? I want you to use this as the good old fuck you mentality. Get pissed off at me and just shove it right in my fucking face. And I'm okay with that, okay? I'm okay. I'll come on here and I'll eat my own fucking words about how much shit I talked about you, okay?
Dude,
I have no fucking problem doing it.
I went on his Instagram and I was looking, and one of the comments was like, "Dude, retire."
Oh my god.
It's like his Instagram that like him and his wife or something share. It's like Orlando Arcia,
bad, dude.
like Orlando Arcia twins or something, and some dude was just like, "Dude, retire." I was like, "Oh my god."
Good old Arcia from the Braves.
I was giggling over like little girl, man. Now it's just funny, dude. The internet's unfucking defeated, dude.
That was on Instagram too. That wasn't even on fucking Twitter.
Sometimes those old fuckers.
That's brutal, man.
No, that's Facebook. Fucking Braves Facebook fucking sucks.
Dude,
It is
everybody
so
on the
bad.
team fucking sucks according to Braves Facebook. Okay.
Austin
Nobody's
Riley
Twitter
got
narrows it
injured.
down.
Austin Riley got injured. Tear the whole fucking team down. He sucks. He's injury riddled. Literally, was like one of 3 third basemen to have 3 plus 30 homer consistent seasons and plays, in my opinion, Gold Glove defense. I mean, his
These are
defense
the
has
same
stepped.
motherfuckers telling us to trade Ronnie because he wore his fucking hat backwards in spring training. Okay.
Oh my god!
Do you remember
So
that
there was-
shit? Y'all remember that shit? It was like 2018. He's like wearing his hat backwards, just having a fucking chill time in spring training. They're like, get this son of a bitch off our team. We're like,
There was
fucking kid me. He's a kid.
there was a
Fucking
rain
19,
delay.
20, chill.
There was a rain delay against somebody, and I think it was Grant McCauley was doing call-ins, and this one lady was pissed off because Ronnie was, Latin American, and she was pissed off that he was like obviously making his money here and like going back and like spending it down there, and I'm like, I don't tell you how to spend your fucking money. She's like, I mean, like, she had to have been from like Mississippi or something, because she was like, he's making this money and spending it on gold chains, and I was like, "Oh my god, Granny, put the phone down."
Baby. Jesus Christ, bro.
Put the phone down.
Austin Riley
Just
does
show
seem
your
to be her
racism
type of
a little
player.
bit. Just show it a little bit, all right? God, Jesus.
Oh my gosh,
I hate people sometimes.
dude! Brave social media is
Facebook.
a Wild West place.
I mean, dude, even on Twitter, I've been
It
seeing
can be,
rumblings and like tweets here and there of people wanting a rebuild for the Braves. Like,
I
seriously.
literally saw one today. Somebody was like, "I keep hearing this about Braves. You know, they need to rebuild and everything." And I'm not saying they need a full rebuild, but maybe a small one. And I'm like,
The fuck
you
are y'all
realize?
No, dude.
What piece
You
would you
realize?
trade?
I don't know.
There was
It's
rumors
dumb.
of Aussie trades, and I was like, "They're not fucking trading Aussie Albies." I'm like, I'm calling it right now.
Rumored for like the fuck ever since its dawn of time. Apparently, they've been.
I'm calling it right now. Aussie Albies is a borderline Hall of Fame second baseman. They're not trading him.
He has another 4 or 5 seasons where he's putting up 4 WAR.
Yep.
He's all.
I agree, but I think he will. I mean, I think he is going to be a borderline Hall of Fame second baseman.
You know
The
what's
class
funny
is
about Ozzy? It's going to take like a 5-year, $50 million contract to be a Brave.
I think he'd take it too. I think he'd take it.
I know. He wants to be a Brave.
He should be. Him and Ronnie both. Well, and Austin. I mean, those are your 3 guys that like.
And Olsen, he's not going anywhere.
No. I will
Speaking
say,
of Ozzy Albies, he has a YouTube channel where he talks about his fish, his aquarium. Some fucking good content if you guys want to check that out.
You know who else has a YouTube channel? Tomahawk Talk Gaming.
Y'all need to go check that shit out, man.
That's right.
boys, I'm ready to kick y'all's asses at some MLB The Show.
Bro, we need you on co-op, man.
We play together.
The shit out of these kids the other day.
Hell yeah.
Fucking jackasses, man. Wait
The
till you
people
see-
throwing at Tony Stone.
Yeah, man.
Mm-mm.
Wait till you see what we did with Chipper. That's all I'm gonna say. Wait till y'all see what we did with Chipper Jones in that video. It was unfucking believable what we did with him.
We played today, and they tried to do the same shit. They tried to hit the Tony Stone card, and I went in to pitch the next inning. I threw them a bunch of sliders and stuff, and they were fouling them off, and then I just throw a fastball up and in, and it was just doors.
What was funny is this the 9th inning of this game, and I think it was a 2-0 lead for us because we were just kicking the shit around the whole game. And then they hit Tony Stone, and all of us simultaneously fucking leaned forward at that point, and we kicked their fucking doors down in the 9th inning.
I even got hits in the 9th inning. I mean, it was.
And this motherfucker never gets hits in the ninth at any point in the game.
Hey, I make up for it. I mean, I've got Gold Glove caliber defense in the outfield, and I am absolutely 2018, 2017 Max Scherzer on the mound. I mean, I absolutely do not give up shit on the mound.
Let me tell you about this Austin Riley 512-foot bomb you fucking gave up.
Whoa, you told me to throw him another changeup at the same place.
Brother, let me tell you about my heart rate and my blood pressure when you were fucking around the outfield.
Oh, hell.
You were fucking around the outfield trying to make them, give them a little piece of what they were giving us. Meanwhile, my heart was pumping, brother. My heart, I felt like I had to double up on my lisinopril, man.
I got it, Jose. I got it. I should fucking hope you do.
Jose never says shit out of the norm like that, man. Me and Jeff will be losing our shit, and Jose's like, that'll play.
No, I did lose my shit when I sent that piss missile out with Chipper.
Dude, yeah,
So,
that video's coming out next weekend, man. That's gonna be a good one. Y'all need to check it out.
If that's all, you can follow us on X, follow us on Facebook, follow us on TikTok, follow us on
YouTube.
pretty much everything. I mean, we're on everything. Follow the gaming channel. We're going to be putting out some more content with 25 coming out. Follow Ben. He'll probably be our new addition for whenever Ryan can't make it, Sunday things with his work schedule and whatnot. But, yeah, we'll end it there. we'll see y'all in the next one. Oh, the next one. Next one's gonna be good. Y'all are gonna have to stay tuned for the next one.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, we go.
Landed right on the shoulder. Hawk tour. Let's do it again.